You may have everything, but do you really want to know the secret to living life the right way? Have you ever wondered what the true path to wisdom looks like? Let's explore, through this story, how wealth and pleasure can hold us back. So let's begin. A long time ago, there was a great king who was deeply interested in wisdom. One day, he heard the news that a renowned sage was visiting the kingdom. The king was delighted to hear this. However, the sage was known to meet only a select few. When he arrived at the palace, he met the king privately in a chamber. The king greeted him and said, "Guruji, I am grateful that you have come to my palace. I would like my subjects to hear the wisdom you share." The sage replied, "King, how can you say they need my wisdom without their own desire for it?" The king answered, "Guruji, what do you mean by that? Every person needs wisdom so they can live life with understanding." The sage replied, "You're right, people do need wisdom, but wisdom is everywhere, yet why do people fail to grasp it?" Confidently, the king said, "Guruji, I am sure my people will receive your wisdom, so I request you to please share it with them." The sage thought for a moment and then said, "Very well. King, you know my abode is far from here, atop a high mountain. If you believe your people need my wisdom, then they must make the effort to reach me. This is the price they must pay to receive it." Hearing this, the king felt overjoyed. He replied, "Guruji, my people hold you in high regard. I will simply inform them, and they will come to see you." The sage agreed and said, "All right, king. Bring your subjects to my abode tomorrow. There I will share my precious wisdom with them." Saying this, the sage departed. Once the sage left, the king instructed his commander to announce across the kingdom that everyone was to join him on a journey to visit the sage the next day. The people were thrilled at the chance to meet the sage and were determined to go, no matter the cost. Seeing their enthusiasm, the king grew confident that this would bring a newfound understanding among his people and lead them to a happier life. The next morning, with great excitement, everyone set out with the king and queen toward the mountain. A little way into their journey, they came across copper coins lying on the ground. Seeing the coins, 20% of the people started collecting them. The king advised them, "What are you doing? Leave these coins. We are on our way to meet the sage." One person in the crowd replied, "King, we are very poor. Right now, these copper coins are precious to us. Please forgive us. We cannot continue with you." Understanding their plight, the king left them behind and continued on with the rest of the people. As they went further, they came across a pile of silver coins. Seeing the silver, more than half of the remaining people stopped to collect them. The king urged them to continue, but they also chose to stay behind. Left with only a few followers, the king moved forward. Further ahead, they encountered a pile of gold coins. At the sight of the gold, most of the remaining people lost themselves in collecting the coins. Now, only the king and queen were left moving toward the mountain. As they neared the sage's abode, they spotted dazzling diamond jewelry. Upon seeing the diamonds, the queen could not resist and stayed back to admire them. Left with no choice, the king continued alone toward the sage. When the king arrived alone, the sage welcomed him with a knowing smile and asked, "O king, you came alone. Where is your kingdom's people? I had made all the arrangements for them to sit and listen, but you are the only one who has come." The king replied, "Guruji, when I started, my entire kingdom was with me. But along the way, all of them drifted away from me." The sage smiled and said, "Perhaps now you understand that on the path to wisdom, one must walk alone. It is an inner calling that brings one to this journey. People are easily drawn to wealth, desires, and pleasures, and for them, the pursuit of wisdom becomes difficult." The sage continued, "King, hearing and understanding something is one thing, but implementing it in life is a completely different matter. If you truly desire wisdom, you must be prepared to walk alone. A crowd can never attain wisdom or understanding together." The king folded his hands and said, "Guruji, now I understand why you had arranged for copper, silver, gold, and diamonds along the path. You wanted me to see that a person who stops at the sight of wealth can never move toward wisdom." Thanking the sage for this invaluable lesson, the king returned to his palace. Friends, this story teaches us that only those willing to let go of something precious can attain wisdom. In life, follow what you come to understand, and do not wait for others, or you too may stop in your journey. So have the courage to walk alone toward what you find beautiful, good, and true. Friends, do you think that even in today's times, people are willing to make such efforts and sacrifices to walk the path of wisdom? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know which part of this story touched your heart the most. We look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you.